Hello, welcome to the Sidetrack Podcast, where we talk about wacky stuff that has happened around the world and in our life. Today, I am Nathan, but tomorrow I might be someone else. There's Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
And then there's Caleb.
Hey.
And we're Sidetrack.
Your worst nightmare.
So, how's it been, guys? It's been a week since we last recorded. No, it's been more than a week.
We are maybe behind in a few ways, but we are getting on top of things. School, school started back for some of us. Well, none of us are actually doing school, I guess. We're studying,
really. We're
but
studying.
it's still like school.
So a thing I want to say is after Caleb came back last week, last week was his first week and this is his last week. Until like he's on his break again. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Actually, he said he might be able to do it well.
I might be able to do it well in there, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Just like, oh, Caleb's back. Oh, he's
Caleb's
gone.
gone again.
And yeah, should we say the bad news about Lachlan?
I put it in the comments of the last video, but for people who didn't read it, Lockie's pretty much just straight up quit the podcast. He's completely done.
We tried to message him, couldn't find him. Sent a search party out, I couldn't find him. Sadly enough, we found him dead, hidden in an underground bunker playing Overwatch.
With his anime body pillow.
And we couldn't get him out. We couldn't.
A little gremlin.
So yeah. Okay.
We should probably start instead of...
Okay, we got a lot of stuff to cover.
Well, yeah, we've actually got notes, which we seem to have more in 1 week than we did in 2 weeks from one time.
Last week was pretty good with notes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, let's
Yeah. Apologies if this episode comes up a bit later than normal. You're just gonna have to suck it up. Anyway.
It's not really... we're the ones losing here. It's not really them. They're just kind of like, podcast.
Okay,
right.
So me and your boy Caleb went to a conference in April, which is we went in May, but it happens over April. It's called KIC.
May.
And May. It is a Christian conference in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales, and it is very nice.
I was just gonna say, don't give away too much information.
No, because dude, people come in from everywhere, man. I could say my exact date of birth and my address and nobody would care.
We've got 12 subs. What do you mean? They could hack us.
Oh, true. Except
the internet's a scary place.
They're all my family. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. We had a good time. That's kind of one of the reasons why this has gone up late, because we were all very busy. Nathan was just slacking off, sitting on his butt, but pretty cool.
Oh, frick off. No, I haven't.
Well, yes, you have. You chose not to come to KIC.
Caleb, you got any stories or events
not really
that may have happened besides victory?
Nothing really interesting happened. No, it was a good conference, but nothing.
Yeah,
really
it was good.
happened.
It's just no specifically stories that we could say that
really
last
encourages me
that
to
are
go.
worth telling. Nothing with a climax, just pegging people and doing Fortnite dances and stuff like that. Just the norm.
This year we had Fortnite.
Okay, so the Sonic movie trailer came out.
Yeah.
Any of you guys watch that?
I did, and to be honest, in my personal opinion, which doesn't matter, I don't think Sonic looked too bad. I feel like if I were to be honest, I would change the eyes and the teeth and maybe the mouth.
Is that it? Not
Pretty
the
much.
legs.
I didn't mind it that much.
The legs,
I don't know if I'll get hated for it, but I guess if you're if you're a really nostalgic person,
if you've literally seen a picture of Sonic, you're gonna get annoyed as what they did, because it looks nothing like Sonic. Sonic has stayed literally the same since since the first game came out, man. He hasn't actually looked that much different at all. Even when he transitioned into 3D, he looks the same. And then they butcher him. They cut him up in pieces and they put him back together with sticker tape, bro. And it just looks bad. It looks bad.
Gosh,
nobody likes it. The internet is angry. Memes have been made. In fact, the backlash was so strong that
was it director or something?
It was, I think, the producer of the film.
The producer, yeah, or something.
Was like, we are
they're gonna change
gonna
it.
make. We've heard your message loud and clear, and we're gonna make changes to the final design of Sonic.
He's gonna look like Uganda Knuckles. They're coming. They're bringing the dead meme back.
Do you know the way? Yeah, it just like doesn't, and it doesn't look good as a movie as well. It just looks really cliche. The only thing that's going to be carrying it is Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey,
as Dr.
let's be
Eggman.
honest now.
And he does look like he I think he suits the role personally.
Yeah,
I think he's going to do a good job.
Well.
So yeah.
Let's just hope he
What
doesn't
about
break
Ryan
his back
Reynolds
carrying the
and
movie.
Detective
Ryan
Pikachu?
Reynolds. Oh, dude, Detective Pikachu is going to be lit.
I am probably.
You guys are going to see
I
it
don't
on
know when
Monday,
we're gonna
aren't you?
upload this podcast. Yeah, so if you
It'll be
don't
out
have free time,
pretty
Caleb,
soon.
it's actually out tomorrow. By the time we're recording
I
this
can't come because I'll
podcast,
be at the academy.
yeah.
Dang-a-lang dang. Ding-dang dwang.
All right, let's.
Oopsie
let's
doopsie. I'm Floppy Gloria.
I'm
and
so glad we've called this the soundtrack podcast. There's a good reason for it.
Yeah, at least we're not pretending to not be.
Moving on to
against
some
soundtrack.
tech news. What have we got here, Nathan?
All right, guys. So a while ago, I don't know, I think maybe like 3-ish years ago,
Yeah, a long
Razer
time
showed
ago.
on April Fool's a Razer toaster which had RGB, had USB ports so you could plug your phone in and charge and stuff, and it also it was a toaster that you could, like, once you put it in, it would actually print the Razer logo on your toast. And then they also did this other like RGB, like, was it butter or something? But that's fake. But apparently after like years of everyone pestering Razer to make the toaster, instead of it actually being an April Fool's joke, they're actually making the toaster a real thing now. Like, it's becoming an actual thing.
They're actually asking the community to step in and help design it. And pretty much if they'll give out like a Razer Kraken mobile to the winners to some people that like do the survey apparently. But yeah, it's like a survey you can do to help design it. That way.
Which is really like,
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys think? Would you guys actually buy one if it came out?
I would
around, like-
100%. Depends on the price, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it was, it's like, it's a novelty item, right? You buy it as a joke, but then you end up like 2 months later, you're like sitting in your kitchen, you're staring at your toaster that you've used like 5 times, and you're like, why did I spend $200 on a toaster that prints a Razer logo, which is all burned and doesn't taste good, and has shiny lights that come out of the bottom, and then you contemplate stepping into the bath, turning the tap on, and grabbing the good old Razer.
Razer toaster, the new way to commit.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it looks cool. I think it's a cool little nifty thing they're doing.
If you're a gamer, it is definitely a gamer.
If
for
you're
you.
a gamer,
Gamers.
it is definitely gamer.
I'm gonna have it like right by my desk, so when I'm gaming, I can just whip up some toast straight away and just eat
Whip
it.
up
Man.
some toast.
You know,
Just have it
it'll
next
match
to your
straight into
PC.
Dude, I wonder if it actually can sync up to like your what's it called,
To your
Razer Chroma,
PC.
or your
I think it's
RGB.
actually a thing you can sync it with like Razer Synapse or like with your phone or something. I think that's an actual thing that they
That
were
would be
like was
so
in the
good.
trailer.
Oh yes.
I mean,
Okay.
imagine whipping that out at a LAN party. Everyone's whipping out their gaming PCs. You whip out your Razer like Blade stealth like laptop, and then you whip out the Razer toast and it's like, boys, if we get hungry, I've got us covered.
Your boys want something to eat.
That would be amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So that's
Speaking
the
of
thing.
Razer products, Razer have a phone, but you know who else has a phone? Google.
Oh wow! No, but you're cutting through.
That
the
was
nose
I
is
know.
good.
But you know
Let's-
what else Google did? The Google
No.
I/O event. Smooth.
Very smooth. So
As smooth as Razer butter.
smooth as butter on Razer toast. Okay, so pretty much Google did a I/O event, which they do yearly. Pretty much they talk about new upcoming like features and devices and products and stuff for the future that they're going to bring out, all that they have brought out, and just some pretty nifty stuff. So there is a lot of things to cover, so we'll probably like skim over it pretty quickly. They've got some pretty cool stuff. So you guys hear about what's it called, Google Duplex?
Yes, I know about that. Yes, I
So
do.
pretty much, yeah, it's a thing that is out on the new Pixel devices, and it lets you screen well, actually, no. You can literally tell your Google Assistant to make calls for you. And that Google Assistant will do the call and do whatever you said. So you say, "Hey Google, call the hairdressers for my..." Oh no, my Google Home's gone. You say that word, and then you say, "Set up a hair appointment for 6 p.m." And it'll call that it'll call the barber of choice or whatever, and it'll say, "Hey, I'd like to book an appointment for this, that, and that," and it'll pick the time that you said, and even. Yeah, and hang up the call and interact with the person live. Like, it's not scripted or anything. It listens to what the person on the other end is saying and then responds to them. It's pretty crazy, next level stuff.
Damn.
It is. Like if you listen to the videos, it sounds like a real person because instead of it sounding like a robot, they actually add ums and ers in there, so it sounds more like a person making.
So the hairdresser doesn't even know that they're talking to.
Well, that's in some ways it's ideal, but it's also not ideal because if people think it's a robot, they're just gonna hang up like 90% of the time because there's so many like fake calls and stuff like that. You just when you hear that robot voice like that calls you're always just like, oh, I'm hanging up. It's a scam. But they're also bringing out a new thing, which is duplex is coming to the web. So how it works is
Oh, really?
You could say, "Hey Google, rent a car for the upcoming holiday," and it would look at your calendar, see you have a holiday, see the dates of when to when, go onto a website, literally fill out all the details like the forms, like what your date of birth and all that, your name and that. It does even the car of choice that you've talked about in your emails, like your preference. It does all that, and then it just lets you quickly read over it. It like highlights all the things that it asks in one easy little page for you. You can fix anything up that it may have missed, and then you just tap and okay, you've got the car. So pretty crazy. Just works awesome. On like any website. They're launching a bunch of other stuff as well, like subtitling and a bunch of one thing which is pretty cool is Google Assistant. You know how when you say the magic words, "Hey something something," and then you'll like follow it up with saying like, "What's on my calendar?" It'll take a sec to like listen and then understand what you're saying and then respond. Right? What they're doing now is they're actually compressed hundreds of. They've compressed about like 100 gigabytes worth of audio, what do you call it? Voice recognition software into 500 megabytes. So now you can get it on your phone, and
how did they gather that information
to the cloud? So you don't have to connect to the cloud anymore, and you could literally just say, "Hey, something" on your phone, and it would respond instantaneously. So that's coming to the next generation Pixel, which is pretty cool.
Speaking of pixels, we transition back again to the Pixel 3.
So the most notable thing of this Google I/O announcement is Google are launching the new Pixel 3a, which is pretty much like the last Pixel 3.
It's basically Google Pixel 3 Lite, but they're not calling that.
They're not calling it Lite because it doesn't want to look like a lighter version or a downgrade, which in a lot of ways it's not really. It's
not
only,
really.
It's only skimming on the things that don't really matter.
Yeah.
So, so they'll be launched. It's out already. You can go pick up the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL.
In America, I believe it's $399 for the normal version, and then I think it's $479 for the XL version, and then in Australia it is
$649 for the
$649, and then
for the normal, and $799 for the XL. So pretty much it looks pretty much identical to the Pixel 3. The only difference is the back is going to be polycarbonate, so form of plastic.
So no glass,
which means no wireless charging, which honestly I couldn't be bothered about.
I own a Pixel 3 and I don't use wireless charging at all.
Yeah.
I just find it stupid.
It doesn't, unfortunately, have the full front-firing speakers, but I think it still does have.
It has one front-firing one and one on the bottom on both models, on the XL and the...
Which are still quite loud. They don't have as much low end, but they're still good.
Yeah.
And also doesn't have a notch on the XL model.
Yeah, they've completely blacked that out this time.
The XL model, instead of having a 1440p like the original Pixel 3 XL, it just has a 1080p. And fortunately, both screens on the A models are still OLED, so you don't really get like
Take
a
note,
cheaper
Apple,
version.
on your budget smartphones.
Which they didn't just make LCD, but it runs videos in 720p.
Nice. Good job.
And it still has 4 gigs of RAM. It still has the amazing camera quality. The camera quality is apparently pretty much the exact same. The only difference being that it doesn't have the 2 selfie cameras. It just has the one. It doesn't have the wide angle option. No. And then one last thing is the processor is slightly downgraded to just save on that price and performance.
Not just there was another thing. It's I just had it. Oh, the battery. Yes. That's what it was. Yeah.
It can get, what was it? 7 hours of charge in 15 minutes,
and
which
it's
is
actually
insane.
Both models,
and it can go up to 30.
The Pixel, like the normal Pixel.
And it can go up to 30 hours, which is pretty crazy, because of their aggressive like power savings, software stuff. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Caleb? What do you think?
It's pretty good. I mean,
pretty good.
Nice. I love your input.
Personally, I'm an Apple fan, so
yeah.
Fair
enough. See, the thing I find really cool about this is there hasn't been a good like mid-range phone like this for a long time. At least launched by like
a big company, like
a big company.
There's been the iPhone XR, but that's
the thing about this, it has all the flagship features. It still has like the squeeze as well. It's still got that fast charging Type C. And like the price isn't phenomenal. You still can pick up a Pixel 2, at least here in Australia, for cheaper. But you still get all these new features and stuff, which makes it totally worth the price. Especially with phones that are coming out for like up to like 1,500 Australian dollars, even more in some cases.
Even like the budget version of like flagship phones, like the
still like
Galaxy
a grand.
S10, was it the S10e? Is
that's
still
a grand
like
on special from what I saw.
Yeah, and same with Apple's iPhone XR is still over $1,000 even for the cheapest model, and it's absolutely insane. It's still like an expensive.
So
phone.
It's cool that like Google are making this step, and hopefully more companies see that and follow suit and just like start being more competitive on the mid-range, because that's actually where a lot of companies are making money. Like Apple and Google have actually sold a lot less phones this year and made a lot less money because of all their phones are so expensive. But Huawei, they've made 50% more than what they made last year because they've got so much in their budget and mid-tier range and so much good valued stuff in there that it's available for everybody. And yeah, there's market for that.
I love the way you said like Huawei.
This, like,
Huawei.
Yeah, I always say it wrong. I know the right way to say it,
Huawei.
but I used to say it Huawei, and I still do. Excuse me for that.
I'll never forget.
I can't remember. I don't think it's available in Australia, but it actually technically comes in 3 colors, but in Australia you can only get in white and black. There's like the white, black, and then there's like
it's what is it like just
it was
just
called
black?
purplish. It's like just black, clearly white, and purplish.
Purplish, which is
I like their naming.
They've got really cool names. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty interesting. There
was something I wanted to talk about as well before we move on. What do you guys think if Google released a Pixel smartwatch? Like, I honestly think that would be kind of good.
Happen.
Really?
Honestly,
I would totally buy it.
It's definitely going to happen at some point, because it's just like, right, Pixel, it took them a while to like fully put their name into the smartphone game, even though like clearly they owned Android and they made Android and they had the Nexus phones, which was pretty much Google, but it still was under the name Nexus. And Pixel was like the first proper full introduction into like the smartphone game. And nobody knows the software better than them because they were the ones that made it. And it's going to be the same with Android Wear, which is the Android smartwatch OS. So they're definitely going to jump in for sure.
Did you guys ever see the first Google Pixel ad? Like, it was honestly, I watched that thing so many times when it came on. Like that, I don't know how many times I've watched that ad, but like that's how you should create an ad.
Really
I,
good marketing.
Sat there and watched it.
They smashed their marketing game. For sure. And they like poked fun at Apple for getting rid of their headphone jack.
The headphone jack, where it's just like a 3.5mm headphone jack, just totally not
And if
new.
you like look at the phone, it sold really well considering like it didn't really have much backing it.
I
If
think
you look
it
at the
still
phone,
holds up today.
It's still got giant bezels and looks pretty outdated for today's standard, but
yeah, for today's
smashed the camera game, and it's been Google have been
does.
setting.
It still does. Like
Google have
hold
been
up.
setting the standard ever since.
Which is awesome for
Yeah.
Google. I think Google have definitely gotten themselves back in the running game with the 3A. Like they probably make more sales because of that cheaper budget.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, phone. Yeah.
100%.
All right.
I guess OnePlus are launching their new phone pretty soon as well, which is going to be
Oh,
interesting.
That'll be pretty cool.
I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's
Don't know much
apparently.
about
So
OnePlus.
from the leaks that I've heard, it's going to be the first phone to support. It's going to have 90 hertz and HDR.
Oh yeah, that was
90
plus.
It's
that
still,
phone was looking
which is
really
pretty crazy. I
still
would
not
love to see
120
that.
hertz, but it's good enough.
Yeah, I mean it's a phone. 120
the
hertz
Razer
is
phone.
pretty excessive in my opinion.
Well, I guess we're kind of done with this section, aren't we?
Yeah.
So let's just close the book on that one and open the books on Valve.
Valve are
Did
releasing.
not release Half-Life 3. I'm joking. Sorry.
They're releasing a new headset. This has been rumored for a new VR headset. This has been rumored
3
and like
years or something.
yeah,
Like,
this has been
ages.
leaking for ages, but there's finally an official announcement. The name is the Vive Index, and it's their new VR headset, which is coming out.
Wait,
when
did
is
you
it
say
coming out?
It's coming out this
I thought
winter
you said
for
the
us,
Vive
but summer
Index.
for
Are they?
them.
Yes.
I was like, are they ripping
And-
off?
No.
It looks amazing. It looks really good. The only issue is it's heckin' expensive.
Oh,
So-
apparently in the US, it's supposed to come out for $1,400.
Yes. So
That's insane.
Okay, this headset, it's very powerful. It has quite a high resolution screen. It has the new Valve Knuckles, which is these new controllers that are really smartly designed, which would be impossible to actually explain probably over mic. You just Google them and you kind of
Really?
understand how they work.
If you know what the Oculus controllers are, they're kind of like they have like the touch like wherever you put your fingers are in like a game, the fingers will move. It's kind of like that, but in like Valve's
It's like
own way.
touch pads, and wherever you touch your fingers in the game, your fingers will like move.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
Really
to explain.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
It is
It also
compatible
will
with the
come
Vive.
with their new base station version 2, which are going to be just, I think, better. And I'm from what I'm aware of, it'll still work with base station 1, which was the one the Vive used. And
Okay.
you can upgrade your Vive to the new base station 2 as well.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
the
as
VR
I
world's
don't know
getting more
many-
high tech,
much-
boys.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about the specs. I think it is running two 1440p
Yeah, I think-
screens.
It's the same as the Vive Pro. I know
yes.
that much. Yeah.
So it's gonna require a bit more demanding PC, and also has 2 cameras on the front, probably for pass through, and also just better hand tracking. So that'll be cool. Yeah, that's it's gonna
pretty
be.
much that.
I would just straight away skip it to anybody who's thinking of buying it. It looks cool, but
Unless
is
it goes
way
down
too
in price
expensive.
dramatically.
Even then, it's just
Yeah.
crazy, and it's not
It's-
even coming to Australia for like a while. There's no
Really?
Yeah, from what I
What
heard,
about-
if you go to order it on the Steam page, it just says like not available.
What about the Knuckles? Are they coming to Australia?
I don't know. See, the Knuckles are definitely an investment. If you've got a
Yeah.
Vive, get the Knuckles.
they do
They're
work.
very expensive though, but they're good, especially compared to the Vive controllers, which aren't the best in the game. They're still great, but yeah. Okay. Just I would avoid it because there's so much cheaper, better VR on the market at the moment.
Valve haven't done that much.
Yeah.
Not really.
Unless you're packing it, like
Yeah, unless you've literally
your-
got like
your wallets are just
$1,400 US
stacking.
dollars burning through your pocket, and you're like, why not? So you do that.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe we should.
Okay,
Put
so-
Elmo kills that.
Don't spoil Endgame. This is why we have the spoiler segment. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mix things up. we're gonna officially end the episode here for people that haven't seen Endgame. Because
if you haven't seen
from
Endgame,
this point onwards, we're gonna just talk about Endgame spoilers. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about the new Endgame.
We're legally allowed
and
to,
also Spider-Man: Far From Home. Don't watch the trailer if you haven't seen Endgame because it does involve spoilers.
Well, the first one you can watch. The second one is not
Far
recommended
From Home,
until you've
yes.
seen Endgame. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
I would
for the
click
people,
off now if you haven't seen it because we are going to spoil a hecking lot.
Big spoilers. We'll give
Spoiler
you
warning.
literally just click off now. So I think we've done enough spoiler warning.
Okay.
If you skip past this
See
part,
ya.
you're an idiot.
See you next episode. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, all right. And for the
Okay.
now for the people who stayed, it was a lie. We're gonna kill everyone. I'm joking.
Wait, what? Okay, guys, we meet at midnight. We're robbing the bank.
At this address.
So yeah, okay. Let's just jump like straight into the spoilers. Let's go heavy with it. Elmo kills Thanos. We were all sad to see it happen. Elmo just had to make the decision, and it happened. I mean, I got really teary in that scene, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was a tearjerker. What do you think of that, Caleb?
Definitely 100% Ant-Man killed him.
Ant-Man killed Thanos.
Ant-Man crawled up the butt. No, we would have gotten
and
he did the
expanded.
butt thing.
Okay, yeah. So how are we
how we
gonna
wish it
structure this? Is it gonna be a review, or are we just talking about it?
I don't think we should review it. I'm just gonna say let's talk about some of the. Thor got fucking fat. He was thick boy.
He's
Fortnite.
thick as.
I was so
And he
happy
played
to see
Fortnite, and he got his.
New Zealand guy back again.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I thought he died
Yeah, I thought he did too, and then they're just back.
because like
And there's-
everybody died except for him and Loki.
You can't kill him in New
Infinity
Zealand.
You
War.
can't kill that good. He's too good.
You can't kill a fob. Anyway, so yeah, Thor played Fortnite with Noob Master 69.
Oh,
That was
damn.
pretty impressive. There was a big Fortnite cameo that was like extensively, like longer than I thought it would be, and it was
And then
it was
right
good.
after the
It
movie
became a
came
new
out.
meme. Noob Master
Yeah.
69 is the new Legend 27, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the newest meme.
How like surprising did you find that beginning of the movie? Because I was like, what the heck?
What do you mean
What
by the
happens?
beginning?
Okay,
You mean like
so
Hawkeye?
everybody's like, no, not that. I kind of knew that was gonna happen. So like
Yeah, I
Thanos, it's like the aftermath. Thanos snaps everybody. Everybody's like, what the heck do we do?
And then like nothing
It's like
happens.
5
They
days
don't do
after,
anything.
and then like, oh, we know where Thanos is. So yeah,
That was,
they
like,
go find
really-
Thanos. That
Unexpected.
was like 5 days after.
It was
Yeah.
like just.
And they fly to the
They fly to the
ship.
freaking planet.
The planet. And they're
And
like,
he's-
yo, where are
he's
the
picking
rocks? He's like,
potatoes.
I destroyed them. And I'm like, what the heck?
It nearly killed me, and then they did kill him.
And then Thor just grabs his hammer and just yoinks
I mean,
that
it wasn't
guy's
his
head
hammer,
right off.
but it was his axe.
It was.
It was his axe.
Whatever,
Sorry.
close
Yeah,
enough.
my
It was Captain America that
I
grabbed
mean,
his
yeah.
hammer.
Whoa,
Yeah.
spoilers, guys.
We've already told them to leave. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're listening now and you've seen it, you're a dummy. Okay. Oh
It's
yeah,
ju-
that was like
that
after
was an
that. I was
awesome
like
scene.
thinking. I was like, what happens? Because that's what I was thinking. They all like gather their forces and just go fight him.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, what now? What is happening?
I'm
Oh,
like,
gosh.
I think for a sequels are like really hard to get right, and most of the time
Oh
they're
yeah,
terrible. But
living
like
up
this
to the
was
hype that this built as well.
is like
And it did it.
incredible.
It pulled it off.
It managed
It, like,
to pull it
no-
off.
how-
It is
how?
It's now the second highest grossing film of all time, and it's
And it's definitely
I think
going to
totally
overtake
gonna
Avatar. But if you account from inflation, it still is like gone with the wind by a mile. So
Yeah.
let's
it's
just not talk about inflation because all you know, they're like,
Actually, if you account for the inflation and the
like,
nobody
whatever,
cares.
inflation just-
Nobody cares, okay?
I mean, it's true.
Endgame is best movie.
True.
Yep. Okay.
Facts.
Well, that's the end of the partner.
Full fact.
So what else? I don't think anything else really surprised
Yeah.
me.
Captain America.
No,
That-
Tony Stark.
Oh yeah,
died.
that
can
was
I-
sad.
Can I just say,
I like
can
almost
I-
cried in that movie because of that.
Okay, before we go to the Tony Stark part, can I just
Yeah.
say, you know that scene where like Thanos comes in with his ships and just like hecking nukes
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
Avengers
How did
building?
none of
I
them
was
die?
like, what the heck? That was so surprising. But the part that got me right was a lot of people were stuck under the debris. And Ant-Man's like, oh, I'll just shrink down. He runs in there and he expands, and all of the rubble and debris flies off, tons and tons of concrete. And you're telling me this guy could not do that in Thanos' butt and kill him? No way. It's so
What if
feasible.
Thanos doesn't
You know
have
how
a
in the
I mean, we
you know
never see
how
him eat.
in the Well, have you seen all the rule? No, actually, let me just stop myself
No,
there.
don't finish that. Anyway, what were you saying?
Have you seen like? I was really confused with have you guys seen the Ant-Man movie?
Yes.
And like the Ant-Man and Wasp. You know how when he gets really big, he gets really tired really fast?
Yes.
He was so big for so long in that movie.
He wasn't
and I'm
actually
like,
big for that long though.
really?
And yeah, no, okay. I actually read like a Q&A about this, like from the Russo brothers. He wasn't big for long at all. He's been bigger for way longer in other movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was nothing for him, and he's getting better as well. So even if he was,
Yeah, but then he's been inside the van for 5 hours. He was in there for 5 hours. They were there for 5 years. I'm like, what the frick? That was weird as like at the beginning. Remember?
Yeah, at the
Oh,
very
he was in,
beginning,
like,
where it was
the-
like,
what
I
was
was
it, the
there for
quantum
5
realm?
hours.
yeah,
And then you're like,
Which is crazy.
whoa.
dude, that would have been boring, man. Just sitting like in the middle of like the quantum
And then this
realm,
rat
just
happens
chilling
to
there.
run over everything.
And spit
If it
him out.
wasn't for a rat,
And then there's Tony Stark with his
Endgame wouldn't have happened.
with his inquisitive mind, just figures out a way to solve it casually without even trying to.
Just, oh yeah, I figured out time travel. By the way, Pepper. Just casually. In my free
yeah,
time.
just like, oh, I did it, by the way. Just
Just thought I'd let you guys know. I figured
how to
out time
save
travel.
billions of people. Yeah. Yeah.
And when were you
Spider-Man
going to
Far
tell
From
us
Home.
this?
You guys
Yeah,
seen it?
which-
What do you
yeah,
think? The
I
trailer.
think it's gonna be.
I mean,
great
it's gonna be an
'cause
amazing
I love
movie.
all the Spider-Man movies.
It looks so
Let's be
good,
honest.
and it's based on the aftermath of
Yeah, that's-
Endgame. Yeah,
That's why the spoiler. That's why even Tom Holland at the beginning.
yeah. He's
warned you.
like, don't
It's
watch
like-
it if you
Yeah.
haven't seen Endgame, or I'll smack you. No, but
I'll snap you out of existence.
it looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It
Get
looks like
snapped,
really.
boy.
It
Bringing
looks
in
like that's gonna. From what I've heard, this is the actual end to Phase 4. Yeah, Phase 4.
Phase 4 of what?
Of like the event. It's like the Marvel movies have like phases, and like
Wait.
people were like, Endgame is the end of this phase. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
wrap-up. But if you think about it, Spider-Man Far From Home is because it's like the aftermath, and it's like it's letting it all settle in for a bit. But yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, I don't
definitely
know.
look good.
I don't know if there's much else to say about it.
Is there anything else we want to really talk about other than Fortnite?
I was actually going to say Fortnite. I was like in my
Fortnite
head. I was
and
like,
Marcus
I was like trying to
Brownlee.
think of things, and then just Fortnite.
They did an
popped in.
Avengers event, and I played it a little bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's actually a lot different from
Ooh.
the first one that they did.
Ooh.
They had it so you could get 4 of the weapons. So you could get Hawkeye's bow, Captain America's shield. You could get Stormbreaker, which is what's his name, Thor's axe, and then you could also get Tony Stark's repulsors, and you could like jump around really high. And basically, it was like a versus Thanos, but except people were his army, so like it was an actual like fair fight. It wasn't just Thanos versus everyone. It was Thanos and his army versus a bunch of heroes and stuff.
That's
it was really
crazy.
cool. Yeah,
That sounds actually mad.
it was.
Yeah, I was kind of like not cool with the idea, but yeah, I think it was the sickest thing in Endgame was just where Captain America like pulls the hammer.
Yeah.
Like
That
it's
was
swinging
pretty cool.
towards Thor. Dude, what surprised me was like when Thor was like full on going at it with the dual wielding hammers. That was sick. That was Thanos just like
You know what
grabs
cracks
it
me up?
easy and just like pushes it away. I was like,
You know
what?
what cracks me up? When Thor and Captain were standing next to each other, and then Thor's like, "Give me the big one. You can have the little one."
Oh yeah, that was sick.
small one.
Dude, that was sick.
was great.
Another thing I thought was pretty like I don't know. I just really appreciated this thing in the scene. How quickly he adapted to the hammer. Like he threw his shield and then he threw the hammer at the shield to knock like Thanos forward.
Dude,
I don't know.
dude,
I just
that was
like
so
that scene.
BDS, bro. That scene, man. That was sick.
Absolutely sick. Well,
Yeah.
do you think we should end the podcast here?
I
Because
think we should.
Oh boy.
Oh, let's just jump right out of it.
Jump right on out.
All right, so
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening to the Sidetrack podcast.
Thanks-
If you got
Thanks
this
for
far,
listening.
oh yuck! Leave a like.
We'll just cut that out. Don't worry. worry about it.
leave a
Don't
like.
worry.
Hit the subscribe button, please. and
Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram,
Subscribe
Facebook,
to PewDiePie.
Snapchat, Twitter, Tumblr.
we literally have
Tinder.
none of those. And yeah, so
yeah.
thanks. Tune in for next time we upload. We're not going to give a specific date because honestly, we don't even know at this point.
We are trying so very hard, and by trying I mean we are really busy, but we are trying to put out episodes as much as we can
And-
on time. We're just all busy.
Before we end, we just got to say goodbye to Caleb for like however long he's going to be gone for because he
If
might
I'm
be
gone
here,
at
and
all.
maybe if he's gone,
He
if
will
he's
be
gone,
with
he
us
might.
in spirit.
Yeah,
and
or
in
we'll
soul.
just. I'm firing him. Basically, what I'm saying. I'm joking.
We could just like
Excuse me, we
record
haven't
this
talked
clip
about
of
this.
him talking and just put it over every episode. That would work. That would work. Okay, let's wrap this
Okay.
up. Everybody, thanks for listening. Catch you in the next one. Have a good
I've been
evening,
Nathan.
morning,
There's
night.
Ryan and Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.